So thank you, Eric, for the invitation to be on the panel today. A few quick words about Muse and Muse Open. Project Muse is a platform for digital humanities and social science content. Muse is a community of publishers, libraries, and users in content. Muse started as a collaboration between Hopkins Press and the library over 20 years ago with a grant from NEH and the Mellon Foundation. And we continue to add products, content, and services to meet the needs of our community. Muse is embedded in the Johns Hopkins University. And I should mention that I should switch slides first. But recently we were awarded a generous grant, almost $1 million. I like to round up there. From the Mellon Foundation, and have been working steadily for 11 months to achieve the goals of the grant Muse Open. Our goal is to support OA monographs from many angles: user experience, business models, discovery, preservation, distribution, linked data, accessibility, etc. Muse Open will be part of the Muse platform. So OA content is fully integrated with gated content, thus sharing the benefits of being on a trusted platform with a large corpus of content. And I should mention that this is actually the first Mellon grant, or any grant, that we've received since that initial grant over 20 years ago. So a big deal for Muse. That's not good. Eric. Okay, so it looks like part of my slides have dropped out. So it looks like hand gestures are coming back into play here, and it's not the first time it's happened to me, so let's just go with it. So one of the most important aspects of the program is to move the OA monograph beyond the PDF. So while PDF is a useful format, it does present some limitations to user experience. So our approach has been to invest in a rich, scholar-informed interface. This will allow us to serve the book in a browser and create a more robust experience. We used a third-party UX expert, John Whalen from Brilliant Experience, who's worked closely with designers and performed thorough usability tests with scholars. With the grant, we wanted to take the opportunity to help publishers think about accessibility at the point of creating or digitizing OA works. So with a consultant and the advice of a community, we have come up with a set of guidelines, and we've released that first draft, which is available from our website. Okay. Since I'm kind of having to wing it here, bear with me for a moment. So this would be an example of a book's interface slide, and this one being a table of contents. And the result of all of our testing and our feedback is a very streamlined approach. And what we kept hearing is less is more, less is more. And a key aspect of this design is the user's desire to start the table of contents with content versus front matter. And also things like users want footnotes and references within the content or alongside of it versus the bottom. And so both of these points are important because what it does is it indicates sort of the desire from the users to break away from the print, which has been pretty much the traditional standard for Muse to work with. The other feedback that we received was a lot about, please give us more recommendations, please display more relatedness and things like that, but you better do it really, really well. And if you ask the question, what is really, really well, they'll say, I don't know, but I know it when I see it. So an important point for all of us. Thank goodness the graphics are pretty on these. So reimagining the infrastructure. In terms of systems and workflows, we've developed a back-end system to ensure that the distribution of OA monographs is an automated and efficient set of related systems. We will support a linked open data framework and make sure OA content is not only connected with Muse, but also with the greater scholarly landscape. The overarching goal is to ensure that OA content receives equal treatment in terms of downstream activities like MARC records, linking partners, usage statistics, holdings, tools, etc. We will be working with CKF to satisfy some of the production, tracking, and distribution needs. And ultimately, we hope to plug into other Mellon-funded workflows and initiatives, making a more complete ecosystem. These are really exciting for you guys. So, but now I'm compulsive that I have to keep switching them. So, to jumpstart the Muse Open program, we have piloted about 20 OA monographs from Cornell Press about 6 months ago. And we did this, and they're in PDF format because we haven't built the translation pieces yet, but we did this because we needed a sample set of content to start analyzing the needs of the interface, the analytics, and the distribution tools. So when Muse Open launches, we hope to have at least 300 OA monographs live, and most of those its historical significance. It's actually an opportunity to look at publishing as a continuum between digital and print, open and gated. So the corpus will be a combination of print books from Hopkins Press, OA enhanced monographs exclusively hosted on the Muse platform, and a series of image galleries and other supplemental materials hosted at the Hopkins Library. Using linked data, the main opportunity is creating an environment that will allow a user to interact somewhat seamlessly between the Muse platform and the materials hosted at the library. So it's a unique opportunity, and in my opinion, only possible because we have a collaboration at the beginning of the process between the publisher, platform, libraries, and authors, much like we did at the beginning of Muse with the notable addition of authors. And I mentioned the Cornell pilot, and we analyzed about 6 months worth of that data. And what was interesting for us is what it showed us was an increased use of gated content in similar disciplines. And like I said, it's only 6 months worth of data and it's a limited set, so I can't make an official declaration of anything, but it is an interesting start. And why we did that and what we're going to do with this is, study it and start talking to publishers to begin designing the analytics reports that publishers can use to further their decision making. So kind of contrasting what I've seen on Muse with the slide that Frank showed with JSTOR, a bit different. We saw an increase in Google refers, and I made the assumption, whether right or wrong, that was the preference that Google Scholar was giving to open content versus gated content, and a much smaller, you're starting at Muse where the JSTOR slide had a 40% or something. So a bit different, and I find that sort of quizzical, but the beauty of this is being part of this community, to have those discussions together and to compare and contrast those platforms to kind of start getting a more cohesive narrative together, and also providing publishers with this information as well, so that publishers can take this information and incorporate it also into their decision making and the design of their OA program. So I gave up on switching blank slides, by the way, if you can't tell. So in closing, we invite you to sign up for our newsletter, and which we will start posting rapid updates. And when I see you next year at SSP, we'll be on the heels of launching this program. So thank you, and thank you for bearing with this. And I can send out another set if you'd like to see them.